Hey guys, hope everything is very well with you. And once again, I have another special guest on here. It's Chelsea Cohen, and she is the co-founder and CEO, I hope I got this right, of
Yeah.
SoStocked. And SoStocked is a quite interesting, inventory software with a marketing aspect. And I think this would be awesome just to explore this here right now. Chelsea,
Mhm.
it's awesome. Welcome here. I wouldn't call this really a show that we're doing, but we love to share with our other sellers, with our friends, with our network, and would be happy to hear and mention a little bit about Carbon 6 and your success in there.
Sure, sure. Yeah, thanks for having me. Like you mentioned, I'm the co-founder of SoStocked, and I've been selling on Amazon since 2014. So really, it was I was not in software. That was not my background, but I was trying to solve my own problem, and nothing out there was doing the job. Asking a bunch of friends, they all said, Excel spreadsheets are the only way to go because there's nothing out there. So being an entrepreneur, that became an opportunity for me. And in 2019, we ended up launching SoStocked, which was very much crowdsourced through working with a lot of sellers. I spoke to hundreds of 6, 7, and 8-figure sellers throughout the process of building the tool. And then now we're here, and that's it.
First of all, I mean, congrats, building this all on your own. The best tools, the best software, and the best services, I always believe are the ones, that were built from own demand, from own need, because you do want to solve a problem. I mean, and this is like the way of starting, a business. Everybody suggests you have a problem, solve it, and then offer it to others. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah,
And
thanks.
you went an even bigger way. You've been bought already. So that
Yeah.
is something quite exciting, as I guess, as well in the software industry. Well, for sure.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we always had intended to go in that direction eventually, but definitely was. We were working on raising funds, and we met Carbon 6 and decided to actually sell the business to be acquired. We still work with Carbon 6. It was actually a unique opportunity because it wasn't just let's sell our company. Because I still have a lot that I am wanting to accomplish. I see things in the industry that are not being solved beyond inventory management into profit and cash flow. And I wanted to finish out that story. So the opportunity really came to Carbon 6 is acquiring a lot of different tools and putting them all together. So now I get to work with other people who are trying to solve the same types of problems for Amazon sellers, and get to be part of that bigger game with a group of people who I know, like, and trust, who have a very big vision and very, sound views, and just care a lot, care for the entrepreneurs, built by entrepreneurs. It's a big startup. I mean, it's, a couple hundred people now work for the company, but it's only about 20 months in the making. So it's fairly new, but it's definitely a rocket ride.
Nice. That is really, I mean, congrats to that. That's and maybe a shout out here to Tim Jordan. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing, of course, a lot more about Carbon 6. And I'm
Yep.
quite sure we'll have a few more calls there as well. So
Absolutely.
stoked. What do you guys do? I mean, inventory management is a big word.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, and it can be a complex subject. Um, the the hole in the market that we worked to fill was, with tools out there, they would take your data from Amazon and they would process it and they would spit out a number. They have this secret algorithm and said, spit out the number. This is the number of what you should order. Yet Amazon sellers, if I don't know what's in that number, how you came to that number, I'm not going to trust you. So that was why people weren't using these tools. We wanted to have a bit more transparency with how we came to those numbers. We pull your data, we analyze it. There's customization where if you have a seasonal business, you don't care about the last 30 days of sales. You want to look at, what do I have to order for Christmas? Or if I have a summer product, whatever that was, have it be customizable, and then beyond that, just getting that base forecast correct. The other missing element was, well, what if I have marketing?
Yep.
That's not in my past data from Amazon. That's in my head. That's in, with my marketing team. I need to be able to put that into the inventory plans. Otherwise, the numbers are going to be off. It's math. One number off, one factor off, and the entire equation is wrong. So that was what we were trying to solve.
So in the first step, it is about, of course, I mean, you're finding out all of the, I believe it's FBA, right? Mostly
Yes.
FBA inventory that you analyze, of course, when has been what sold. And of course, I guess the more accurate the data will be, the longer the time frame you have to analyze. But you'll discover like seasonality, you'll discover something, whatever. You don't want to know, like you say, the last 30 days, but you want to know season or season sales minus 60 days or so to have enough for production for the upcoming season, according to whatever you had in the past. So it is mostly, of course, about predicting the future, how much you will need to order. What's going to happen when you say, hey, you do want to order, or you may need to order products? I guess you probably also developed so far that you can say, hey, you automatically create work orders when something needs to be shipped into Amazon, and or you say, hey, I don't even have any stock anymore, that you would probably also place an order with your suppliers.
Yeah. So we refer to it as simultaneous forecasting. You have to, you may have one product and you have orders and you have transfers. You have, a lead time for your orders and you have a transfer time for your transfers. So you need to have both of those things going at once. Then you add other marketplaces and it's like, okay, you got to time, getting them to the marketplace, the correct marketplace on time. So there's a lot of that going on. And then, so that's what the software does. It helps you to know all of the things that you have to order per supplier and at what time. And then you can go in by supplier and click a button, and a purchase order will be created for that supplier, for all the products that need to be ordered for that particular time frame.
Yeah, nice. Can it go so far that literally you place the full orders to this, or is it going to be sent out by the seller? It's prepared. Because I think sometimes, of course, there's like some negotiation or some recalculation, some renegotiation to get better prices. I guess you can do, of course, all of that then manually to say, hey, here, it's prepared for you. If you want to talk to your supplier, get some better prices. Don't send it out yet. Talk first. Here's a prepared email.
Sure, yes. So it'll create the purchase order and pull data from that so you'll have loaded your cost of goods in there, or minimum order quantity, and it'll plug all of that in and it'll build out the purchase order, but which you can send directly from the software. You can email it to your supplier, and all of that can be input into the tool. If you do renegotiate, then you can go into the purchase order and you can change the cost of goods, and then just update the purchase order.
That sounds pretty neat. I mean, for ones, of course, like you say, bye-bye Excel file, bye-bye Excel lists. And you have a much better overview and prepare the orders as well. I'm right now, if the connection is bad, guys, I'm sorry, we're on travel once again in the hotel here in Munich. That's why also the background is a little bit dark. Not the best quality, but I hope we'll keep the connection alive. And the other thing I think very, very interesting, Chelsea,
I lost you for just a second.
Yeah, I see my internet connection is unstable, but let's hope we'll get through this. One of the other things I said that were super interesting is the marketing aspect. How do you combine, what can you do with your software together with your marketing team? This sounds like, I'm not going to ask a question, but I'm quite excited. Tell me what's up with the marketing aspect.
Yeah. So one of the things I discovered early on, first that we needed to educate, and a tool is only as good as the system that you have behind it. So building out those systems, it started with recognizing that more often than not, before restock limits became a problem, more often than not, the stockouts occurred because the marketing team became overzealous, applied some marketing strategy, didn't see how it was going to affect the burn rate of inventory, and stocked themselves out. And this is not just a beginner problem. One of my clients, I had an 8-figure seller who, stocked himself, who did a sale during Mother's Day. By Father's Day, the next month, he was stocking himself out. And it was, 20% off coupons. Those could have been full price sales. He didn't need to do that sale, but he didn't realize it. So that was a big issue. So first and foremost, we wanted to make sure there was a way for the marketing team needs to have a way to communicate to inventory team. And then the inventory team can take the data from the marketing team and plug all of that into the forecast. And the forecast will adapt based on PPC campaigns, lightning deals, any sort of influencer campaign or email campaign. And so that was the first step towards what I call inventory-minded marketing. And then the other step is, now let's have inventory take some responsibility as well and not throw marketing under the bus and blame them for all of the problems. But marketing or inventory should be giving a stock out risk report. Here's the products that could stock out unless you do something about it. Here are the products that, maybe you should liquidate this product, get an idea of what your parameters are. Anything, for example, under, let's say under 5 units a day. If the product is selling 2 units a day for my particular business, that should be liquidated. We need to just get rid of that. It's a dud. I'm not going to even try to revive that product. What about 5 to 20 units? That might be a slow seller. That's just a red flag for marketing to say, hey, this is going to become a bad product and a drag on your inventory and your IPI score and your restock limits and your cash flow and your tied up capital if you don't move that. So you have liquidation, slow seller, and then overstock. And all of those reports, inventory needs to send to marketing, and then marketing can adjust the marketing plans, send them back to inventory, and it becomes kind of like this conversation or this feedback loop to make you more efficient as a marketer and as an inventory team.
This whole marketing topic could be maybe somebody, and we can talk later, who would be a great person, who really looks into this marketing, because I think most of the sellers, yes, of course, we run PPC. Yes, of course, every now and then we have the vouchers running, or we have some deals, and some of them may already do something with external traffic and influencers, but actually not that much really. But looking into this, I mean, especially, when you say, all right, I get my products up and now I really want to focus and force a lot more sales through whatever traffic, like you said, right now, the PPC, the vouchers, an influencer campaign. Once you have your data then available, I mean, this must be worth gold. It's fantastic. I think we'll need to look into also having somebody who says like, all right, we focus on not only PPC, but anything that drives sales, and having a tool that gives you this data for marketing. I mean, on the other hand, just like you say, it's not only about, knowing for the inventory when you sell out. No, the marketing will also know. It's like, guys, you know what? We have slow sellers. We have some that are just like, they're stuck, or they're stuck in stock, and let's just do something to get rid of that stuff. This is fantastic information. I mean, of course, but especially if you have more data. I love that. Do you have anything that you may want to share here? Sorry, I didn't ask you before. Is there anything I want to? Feel free to do some screen sharing if you actually can, if I can allow you.
Yeah, let me see.
Hold on. I'll give you some minutes. I should allow you. Damn it, that wasn't prepared. Can I allow you to share the screen? Or can you share the screen actually?
No, it says host is
now
disabled.
You can. Found it again.
Let's see, let's do it. Oh yeah, there we go. Sure. So we can do just kind of a very, very brief, quick overview of the dashboard, which is the forecasting dashboard. And, you have the ability to set your velocity in various different ways. So it's, very customizable to look at what sales velocity you're using, whether you're using last year's sales or you're using last 60 days, whether you're overriding. And then we also have a feature for, advanced seasonal spikes, which looks at your sales trend. And it looks at both your pattern, your sales pattern, and your trend. So if you look at last year and you say, okay, this is the pattern for last year, but I'm doing 10% better, you should be able to adjust your sales 10% up even if you're following that sales pattern for, let's say, the holiday season or whatever it is. And then once you've got that, you also need to factor in stockouts. If I had a bunch of stockouts, I don't want those stockouts to go into my forecasting, because it's going to make all of my numbers wrong. It's going to allow me to, it's going to have me under ordering. Sales spikes is the same thing. If I had a huge sales spike last year because I was, featured on the Today Show or something like that, but next year I'm not going to have that, then I better not order an extra,
right,
12,000 units that I sold in one day or whatever it is. And then, the inventory timeline, which shows you, projects out a year's worth of orders and transfers, and predicts whether you're going to stock out. Like you can see, this product is this product is going to stock out if we're not, careful. And then, sales growth. If you're going to do a PPC campaign and increase things by 10%, if you're going to have lightning deals, it'll, put lightning deals into that calculation.
Yeah.
And then you're able to place your orders, and it goes from there. It's got reporting, you place your purchase orders, you can track all the purchase orders. So it's, it's a fairly thorough system, the ability to track purchase orders and to create custom reporting based on your own particular business.
Yeah. Pretty neat. Yeah, that's a very good overview. That's fantastic. What do you usually say? When is it worth getting into this? How many products should you have? I usually know when you have 1 or 2 products, then I think you can have this actually even in mind.
Right. Yeah. So I usually say, around, 3 to 5. It depends on how your business is doing. If you're having problems with stocking out or keeping track of those things, then it becomes worth it to get a system. When you're just starting out, having been a seller and also coached a lot of beginner sellers at the start of my time in Amazon, you get inundated with, you need to sign up for this, you need to sign up for that, this is the thing that you must have. And so I would say, don't get SoStocked when you're just starting out. Like, that's not, there's free tools out there. There's, Managed by Stats has an inventory tool. A lot of these tools out there have a built-in inventory function.
Yeah.
And Amazon has inventory functions, which are good starting out. But then once you get into more SKUs and more marketplaces, and it just becomes more work, your time becomes more valuable than, having to do that all yourself. We actually have a DIY spreadsheet at SoStocked.com/tools. There's a DIY spreadsheet that we push people to and say, hey, you can try using this until it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, there is a time when you should be doing it yourself, and then a time when you can graduate.
Would you say it would be like, 20 SKUs on whatever, 2-3 markets, or 50, or would it even be higher? That's just a rough feeling that I had right now. Maybe like 20 to 50 units, SKUs.
I mean, even then we'll have people who have 5, and that's very true. I mean, at 20, yeah, definitely you should be looking at a software. When you expand into other marketplaces, it gets more complex as well. And then there's a difference between, there's two different things to consider. There's the SKUs, how many SKUs do you have? And then there's also the lead times. If your lead times are long enough that you lose track of those things, then, or you're not able to project out far enough, then that becomes one of the reasons why people do sign up for a software like SoStocked before they get to that, say 15 SKU mark or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chelsea, thanks a lot. I think this was a really nice introduction. Love to see more of that, of course. And I guess we'll share a link somewhere here below for the ones who are interested. Chelsea Cohen, SoStocked.com, I guess, right?
Yes.
Also their Carbon 6. Yeah, and I think they will reach out to you, whether over Facebook, over LinkedIn, I think anywhere where all of us are connected.
Yeah, they can, if you go to SoStocked.com/connect, all of my links are there, so they can check it out there as well.
Lovely. Thanks a lot for being on here. Thanks for sharing about this. And
thanks for having me.
I'll guess we'll hopefully hear that some of them are coming to you.
Yeah, awesome.
Check it out, guys. Later.
Mhm.